thought I'd take a minute to answer a question that a follower had sent in to me regarding the craziest piece of business I have actually turned down because I just didn't agree with the numbers. And I have a good story about that, and I'm limited to what I can say because it involves a very, very famous NFL player. Chances are the first one that popped into your head is the right one you're thinking of. But anyway, this person offered to give me on consignment a watch. It was a Patek Aquanaut 5167A. If you know the model, it's considered, I mean, for lack of a better word, it's considered the starter Patek Philippe. The particular model he had sent me, based on the year and the condition and all that, was basically on a good day probably around $70,000 to $75,000. Again, 5167A, steel, full set, mint. Now, obviously the value that came with this was the person that owned it and the fact that the name and address of said person was on the paperwork. Now, adding to the provenance of the watch. Again, we're talking Super Bowl guy status here, but in any case, he wanted to give me the watch, and there were certain stipulations. Number one is I could not divulge who the person was until the watch was actually sold. So that was a huge, huge headwind there. Number two, most importantly, he wanted me to get him like $160,000 for the watch. Yeah, look, I get it. You're a really famous guy. But look, at the end of the day, we're talking about a stainless steel Patek Philippe that at most, given what's going on, I can't see it going for more than double the price. Plus, I couldn't, part of the whole sale thing is to be able to say, hey, this guy owns this watch. If you buy it, you're going to have this special piece. So that said, I respectfully declined the offer. Do I regret it? No, because I can't put the feather in my cap that even said that I have this person's watch. It's because I'm bound by contract not to say anything. That was a fun one, and something that I hope to do again in the future with numbers that make sense. But you'll see, it's crazy business. You meet all kinds of types. A lot of my clients are famous athletes, famous captains of industry, whether it's in finance or government, and I'm bound to protect their privacy. It's a very funny business in that way. So next time.